Greetings to all my fellow watch enthusiasts on YouTube and Facebook and wherever else this video will be seen and shared. Celine Driver again, bringing you another unboxing and review of another watch that I don't own. I don't own this watch. This is yet another tour watch furbished to me via the Random Rob Discord group and the various tour watches that they do. I know it looks like I get a lot of the tour watches, but believe me, for every tour watch that I get, there's another tour that I miss out on. They're all done kind of by random draw. I can win some or lose some. But this one, I'm glad I won, even though this watch is a bit schizophrenic. I'll get to that in a minute. But this watch is from Diving Armour. You might remember I did a review of another one of Diving Armour's watches. It was a bullhead watch. Bullhead, for those of you who don't know, means the crown, instead of it being on the side of the watch, is actually at the 12 o'clock. It was a very interesting watch, and this watch is no less interesting in its own way. Comes in this nice cigar length case. Slides open and reveals a nice watch cutout. Inside, this watch didn't come with any paperwork or anything. I didn't put the extra links in the shot, of course. Nobody wants to see links. You can see there's nothing else in there. It's a nice case, though. Would also make a nice travel case. And here is the what they call the Sub 56. As you might infer from the name, this is supposed to be an homage in its own way of a Rolex Submariner. It has a few bits of the look to it. Particularly the case echoes the current Rolex Super case fairly well. The black bezel, the black watch face, the round indices at the except with the triangle indices at the 12, 3, 6, 9 positions, the round indices at the other positions. They all have a certain similarity to our favorite sub. Nice integrated bracelet. Bracelet actually feels very nice. It does not feel cheap at all. It is a conventionally adjusted micro adjust clasp. You see you have 6 points there. You need a tool to work the thing. I have so many watches now with this kind of clasp that I actually, not only do I have strap tools and clasp tools in the house, but I actually have one in each of my cars, just in case I want to adjust one of those things on the fly and I'm not out at the house. I can just go into my car. It has a double lock clasp. It has a standard fold over. It pops out. There's no trigger buttons or anything. You just dig your fingernail in here. It's not the easiest one to get into. I mean, it doesn't have like a little indentation or anything for you to get a fingernail in there. It's uniformly thick, so it is a bit of a struggle, but not a horrible one. Milled out stainless steel clasp. Good thick metal. It doesn't feel cheap in any way. It's really a nice bracelet and clasp mechanism. Screw down crown. Has a nice relief cut of a scuba diver. It's upside down. The tank should be on the top, right? Scuba diver with fins and everything. Nice little detail. I'm not sure what that A091 is. It looks like it was hand stamped on there. There's a serial number. I don't think it's a part number. I'm really not sure what it is, although it's in there. So I don't know what it is. Signed crown with the diving Armour logo on it. Nice bezel. It's a little stiff, but it does line up nicely. It's a unidirectional bezel. It's not the easiest thing in the world to turn, but in the exchange for that, it does line up very nicely. If I can demonstrate that with one more click. Lines up very nicely. No kickback, no slop. However, that hard to turn and not very prominent knurling on this, with dry fingers, dry bare fingers, it's easy enough to turn. But if your hand was wet or you were wearing gloves or something like that, it may not be the easiest bezel to get a hold of. You can see not cross drill. Cross drill is a braking term, not a watch term. But drilled lugs, so getting in there and changing out the bracelet for something else should be fairly straightforward. Give you a wrist shot. It's not a terribly big watch. And when it arrived from the tour, it was already sized up very nicely for my wrist, so I didn't have to resize it myself. Although I believe they're screw-in pins, so I'll check that in a second. So not a chore if there's screw pins to change out. Fits my 7¼ inch wrist very nicely across the top. Looks just natural, just right on the overhead shot. It fits. You see what I'm talking about? That's just not the easiest thing in the world to pop open. And it bent my fingernail back, so that hurts a little bit when you do it. So I know, first world problems and all that. So, but still, opening up a watch clasp should not hurt. Are these screw-in? Yes, they are. Yep, they are screw pins. So that one probably should be driven in a little bit. See, it's not just Zelos that has screw pin problems. Everybody has them. That one should be driven in a little bit more too. I'll see to that after I make the video. So now I mentioned earlier the one issue that I called schizophrenic on this watch, and that's down to the bezel. You can see the bezel has numbers. At the 10 o'clock position, you have a 1. At the 20 minutes past, you have, not 10 o'clock, I'm sorry, 10 minutes past, you have the 1. 20 minutes past, 2. 30 minutes past, you have a 3. 40 minutes past, you have a 4. 50 minutes past, you have a 5. And then you have a red arrow at the 6 at the 6 or at the 12 o'clock. That's not really, in my mind, a dive bezel. I mean, it doesn't list out minutes like a dive bezel should. And it's not a dual time bezel, because then you would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 to track a second time zone. So it's not a really good true dive bezel. It's not a dual time bezel. What is it? I don't know. It doesn't say anything about this bezel design in the website. I poked around on search engine trying to figure out what kind of bezel is this. Other than this watch, there's no picture of this kind of bezel that I could find. So if somebody in the comments, if somebody knows what this bezel is supposed to do, put in the comments section down below. I would love to know. I'm sure people watching this video would love to know. But for me, the aesthetic here is dive watch. The water resistance is a dive watch. The look is dive watch. The bezel action being a unidirectional and counterclockwise fashion is a dive watch. The screw down crown, the screw down case back, the extra thick crystal, it all says dive watch. And yet, this isn't really a very good dive bezel. I mean, I'm sure you could probably work with it, but when you're diving and you want to set a downtime, you set that pip to where your minute hand is. You want to know how many minutes you've been down. You don't want to have to do, you want to do it at a glance. You don't want to do it with quick calculations of, okay, what does this mean? What does that mean? You know, and so on. It defeats the purpose of being a dive watch. So this is another one of those instances. I've said this on other videos before. Being cute for the sake of being cute. Trying to be unique for the sake of being unique. Okay, mission accomplished, diving armor. You made a unique, cutesy bezel with no function. So you accomplished the goal of being unique for the sake of being unique. Hey, congratulations, thumbs up for you. But you blew it in terms of making it a functioning dive watch. And that is my major nitpick with this watch. This is the kind of thing that would make me skip this watch. If I didn't get a chance to wear it and hold it and experience it and know that this is really a nice watch. It really works well as a watch. It feels good on the wrist. It keeps great time. It has all the aesthetic boxes ticked. But if I just saw it in a picture and I saw that bezel and I was in the market for a dive watch, it would be like, next watch up, please. But having said that, I'm going to go over with my sheet of facts here, the vital statistics of this watch. The Diving Armour Sub 56. It is powered by Seiko NH35A movement. We all know the NH35. It's a double tough, very reliable, very accurate movement. Easy to service when it needs servicing. Hell, maybe you don't even service it. Maybe you just go buy another movement off of eBay and slap it in there. No date complication, so you don't have to worry about a date wheel or anything like that. You just throw it in there and put the hands back on and put the dial back on, and as the Brits say, Bob's your uncle. Box style sapphire crystal is a flat crystal, AR coated, very nice. Doesn't affect the overall thickness of the watch, which is 14 millimeters thick, on a 41 millimeter diameter case with a 22 millimeter lug and a 50 millimeter on the tip to tip. Keep doing that in all my videos. I keep saying meter instead of millimeter. Y'all know what I mean. 300 meter water resistance. I did mean to say meter there. 300 meter water resistance. So this is a true diver. Take it diving, take it snorkeling, take it swimming, get caught in the rain, take a shower with it, do whatever. As long as that crown is screwed down, which it screws out very nice and smooth, audible, not an audible pop, but you can feel the pop. It does have a ghost position for a date because it is an NH35. Pull it to the second position, it does hack the movement. You can set the time, push it back in, movement starts up again, screws down very nicely. So with that screwed down very nicely, you will get the 300 meter water resistance that it's rated for. 316L stainless steel case, bezel, bracelet, ceramic insert. And I suppose if you like the watch, but you just didn't like the insert, I suppose you could, have somebody or do it yourself. I'm never going to try and do it myself again, but pop the bezel off, pop the insert out, take a few measurements, find a place online that sells a bezel insert that you like and fits, and pop it in there. I mean, you could do that. I mean, watch modding is as common as modifying cars. Ask me how I know. Anyway, conclusion. Nice watch. Great bracelet. Clasp has an issue with opening it without destroying your fingernail. But when it's closed and locked, it's very solid. It's comfortable. Screw pins for sizing, so it's easy to work with. Nice oversized crown to work with. Good solid bezel action. It lines up to 120 click bezel, by the way. Really easy to read the time. It's a great watch. It's just let down by a really goofy bezel insert that to me serves no purpose other than to make the watch stand out in a crowd. But you know, what was that old Japanese saying? The nail that sticks up gets hammered. Something like that. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think this being unique for the sake of being unique with no obvious function that I can see is a letdown. Now, if somebody knows what this kind of has seen this kind of bezel insert before and knows what it can do or what it's supposed to do, please put that in the comments and let us know, because I don't get it. Other than that, it's a really nice watch, and if the bezel insert doesn't bother you, I think this is something you should definitely look at. I'll leave a link to this watch where you can find it in the description. And with that, I'm going to ask you what I normally ask you at the end of my videos. If you like this video, you found it entertaining, informative, useful, please click that thumbs up for me. That does help with the YouTube search algorithms, and the more people that can find my channel via YouTube search, the better. So the thumbs up is definitely a help. Comments, questions, suggestions, as usual, down below. I read them all. I respond to them all. However, for the trolls, for the haters, and for the people who post bad links to bad places, those comments are automatically deleted and the commenters are blocked. If you're new to the channel and you just are finding me, or you've found me recently, of course, welcome. Glad you're here. Glad you found the place. Many videos for you to watch. Over 500 at this point. Watch as many as you want. All I ask in return, and I ask so little, all I ask in return is click the subscribe button at some point. Please become a subscriber. And when you do, click the bell icon next to it so that when I upload new videos, new content, you will be alerted to those and you can watch them. Or when I go and do live streams, which I do every Wednesday afternoon at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, or at other times during the week as time and opportunity avail themselves to me, you will be alerted to those streams and you can come and join us. Meanwhile, as I say at the end of all my videos, it is a crazy, nutty, goofy old world out there. I ask that you stay safe, stay healthy, stay well, be careful. I'll see you soon.